Odell Beckham stays in the news, that is for sure. And this time he sounds a bit like a scorned lover, telling Sports Illustrated he believes the trade was personal. He also believes the Giants had better offers from other teams, but traded him to the Browns in hopes of stifling his career. Here's the exact quote. "This wasn't no business move. This was personal. They thought they'd send me here to die." The Giants declined to comment when contacted by SI about Beckham's remarks. Max Cal.
Yep.
You agree with him?
Nope, I disagree. I disagree with Odell here. And by the way, I generally support Odell.
We know.
But I tell the truth, like when he was partying in Miami, what I say, okay, Odell, you go party, that's up to you. Not everyone does everything the same way. It's your day off. Do what you got to do. However, two things now you set yourself up for because you're such a media star. One, you cannot lose the game.
Yeah.
And two, let's say you do lose the game, it better not be because you dropped any passes. Sure enough, they lost, and Odell dropped key passes in his only playoff appearance.
Yeah.
So I killed him afterward.
Oh, I remember that game at Lambeau after the boat trip. Of course, I'll never forget it.
And still, if you want to make an argument about who's the best receiver in the sport, I could say Odell, but I can't prove it. You say Julio Jones or AB, you got me. What can I say based on that game? So I'm telling you the truth about Odell. And in this case, he's wrong. Stephen A., he may be right that it's personal in the sense that maybe Gettleman has a relationship with someone in Cleveland, and so they've done business before, and they like doing it, so they do business together. That's possible. You can't rule that out. But you can't say they sent him to Cleveland to die, to stifle his career. You mean to tell me the Giants surveyed the landscape and say, let's send Odell to the place with the rookie sensation quarterback and skills position players everywhere you look, and the top 10 defense.
You're going to a better team and you're playing with your best friend.
And with your best friend from college. Yeah. And by the way, they're all young and ascending together. Like, it's one thing if this guy's a name brand, but he's old. That guy's not really as good as people think. How's Nick Chubb? Is he as good as people think? Hell yeah. Kareem Hunt's going to be there over the second half of the season. Is he as good as people think? If so, if not, maybe better. His boy, you just said, Jarvis Landry, they got a tight end, they got a defense. The quarterback is in his second year. Stephen A., how'd he get sent somewhere to die? He got sent somewhere to win a Super Bowl.
You're wrong. And I'm disappointed in the both of you personally.
Really?
Because especially you.
Oh,
I
nice
thought you had more flavor than this. I can't believe you didn't pick up on what Odell Beckham Jr.
I thought I dropped facts added to the convo, but okay.
I feel you. You know, you can go there. You can interrupt me all you want to. That's okay. You know, because you can't block the point that I'm about to make. This is not about the Cleveland Browns. It's not about the Browns per se. It's about Cleveland. What's the matter with y'all?
Oh, he's salty. He's not in New York.
What's the matter with y'all? How do y'all miss this? Of course, the Giants have been doing business. When they traded Olivia Vernon, they traded him before Odell Beckham Jr., if I recall correctly. You have already cultivated. You've already cultivated a relationship with them like a week earlier or something. Yeah. But you've already cultivated a relationship. You're familiar with doing business with them. That plays a role. I understand that. I understand that the Giants weren't necessarily saying, excuse me, that's purgatory because the Browns are going to stink, even though the Browns haven't been to the postseason since 2002. I understand that. You're looking at the young roster. This is the National Football League. They actually have to go out there and play the games. They don't get to just assume that because they've got a better roster on paper that all of a sudden things are going to come together and it's going to arrive. It's like a black cat running around this franchise for quite a long time, for crying out loud. But that's not the biggest issue. It's about the personality that was Odell. If you think about it, when has Odell gotten in trouble with the law? Not one time. Not one time. Hadn't broken any laws. Even when we made a big deal about him going to South Beach, that was on an off day. He was free to do whatever he wants. Oh, by the way, there were on many occasions, Odell would leave, from what I was told, and literally fly to L.A. on a Sunday and come back on a Tuesday. This is what, so going to Miami is a considerably shorter trip. And by the way, in some instances, depending on what you're doing, it might be a better trip. But that's neither here nor there. My point to you is this. Him going and traveling, he didn't break any rules, didn't break any laws. But yet he was in the news. He was considered a headache. People all over New York were talking about get rid of him, et cetera, because of the boat in Miami, because of the girl. He had pizza. Now, that white powdery substance she had, he was eating pizza.
Oh, and the hotel room.
Try this. That wasn't a selfie. So who took the picture?
I got you. So listen to what I'm saying to you. That's right. Might have been a third party.
Well,
I'm just saying.
There certainly was a third party.
Otherwise, in that particular situation, he was engaging in recreational activity.
Okay, stay focused.
So I am very focused. The point that I'm trying to make to you is this. He didn't break any rules or anything like that, but the New York Giants couldn't take him. Why? Because his off-the-field activity didn't vibe with the kind of imagery they wanted disseminated to the masses. So what do? You don't send him to L.A. because we all know he wanted to go to L.A. You didn't do that. You sent them to Cleveland, right off of Lake Erie, when you're playing football from September to December. It's very, very cold there. Oh, by the way, there's a couple of nice spots in downtown Cleveland. That's about it. Okay, that's about it. The people there, great sports town. But in terms of activities, a lot of things to do, let's just say it ain't Miami.
I've been there multiple times.
So here's the deal. With all of that being said,
you know what she did? She was slick. I've been there multiple times. You say anything good about it.
That's
you just said you've been there multiple times.
Well, I actually am waiting to talk because I have something to say to him, but I want him to finish because America wants to hear Stephen A.
All I'm trying to say is that Odell Beckham Jr., by sending him to Cleveland, of course they're going to do what's been the best interest of the franchise. But don't tell me somewhere in the crevices of the Giants' mind they want it like this. Good for him. Let him go enjoy himself there.
Can I please say one thing I'd like to say? So what you're telling me, Stephen A., if he's salty about not playing in New York, but he's going to a team where he has a chance to win a Super Bowl, then he doesn't care about football. He cares about off the field because he cares about the city he's in.
With all due respect, that's incredibly disingenuous. He cares about football. What he's saying is that the New York Giants knows that he has a life outside of football and he loved his life, but they didn't give a damn about compromising that. They thought that sending him.
So he needs to go to a Super Bowl winning team and be in a great city.
No. He's saying they thought by sending me to Cleveland, even though they made the best deal clearly for themselves in their mind. His mentality is, you thought that you were sending me to Cleveland, you were sending me to purgatory, you were sending me someplace where you knew I would be miserable. That's what I'm saying he's saying.
So the analogy would be, it's not that Stephen A. doesn't care about broadcasting, he does. But even though everyone knows that he really wants to be in Bristol, Connecticut, it's as though the bosses sent you to L.A. or something like that.
Well, that's not the analogy. That would be the flip. That would be if they took me from New York or L.A. and sent me to Bristol. See, I think Bristol's lovely. Well, I don't. And I'm not apologizing for it. I will work there because I'm going to earn my money and I'm going to be a professional and I'm going to go where business takes me.
I want to say something real quick.
I'll be damned if I'm going to apologize for having a preference. New York and L.A. is my preference. And, oh, by the way, the ATL in Miami would not be a bad consolation prize.
I'll say this.
So I'm clear.
If they can keep Odell from traveling, like, I'll say this in terms of, this is like, I think we've closed, like, we feel how we feel.
Yeah.
In terms of his production on the field, the question is, if he went to a place like L.A., would he travel less? Would it be better for his football because he has everything he needs there? But if you can keep him from traveling out of town to find what he needs, then sometimes it's the best place for him. When an athlete is trapped in a situation where all there is the thing he needs to focus on, it can be the best part of their career.
Remember, he's not saying he's not fine. Right. He's saying they
thought.
He thought that was their game plan.
Might have just won him a Super Bowl. Right. I mean, let's see. Right. He's going to have shots at it.
Let's leave it there. We're very spicy this morning. Kyler Murray has struggled while Daniel Jones has thrived in preseason. Hey, now, but will that trend continue for the top two quarterbacks in the 2019 draft? My guy, Mel Kiper Jr. will be with us to answer that question. And don't forget, the Little League World Series continues right after us on ESPN at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to head to ESPN 2 in the second hour. It's New Jersey taking on Louisiana. That's coming up, top of the hour.